Alright YouTube, what is going on? It is Bigfoot here today, bringing you another episode of my Transport Fever series on White Valley. In today's episode, we are finishing off some transport projects which we've been working on in the last two episodes, mainly concerning Hampstead, and then we're also going ahead and building some and altering some route capacities because we have quite a few issues which we need to resolve. So we ended the last episode building a new tram line, and that is what we're going to finish off this episode. So I want to go ahead and go back into passengers, and we want to build some stops. So we're going to have our stop here for the train station. If you didn't see the end of the last episode, the start of this episode might not make a lot of sense, I guess you could say, so it might be worth watching. What I'm doing is I'm just going to go ahead and populate this whole route up with stops, which works out nicely, and then we've got our other turning circle over here, which is easy enough to go ahead and do. Right, so there we go, that works out nicely. Let's go ahead and build our new tram. I'm only going to build one tram, I think, in this town for the time being, just based on the fact that the Hampstead tram is not doing very well at all, and we need to go ahead and address that. I only built them pretty much in the last episode, and it's not gone down too great. Arguably, it still might be because it's new, but we're going to have a closer look and see what's going on there. Anyway, so Bawtree, if we can go ahead and flip our capitalization, that would be wonderful. So TR Bawtree is good to go, and then I think we're just going to build the depot up at the top of the town here. Tram depot like so. Too much curvature. Not heard of that argument for a tram before. Let's go ahead and get that nice salmon pink, and let's go ahead and get you guys on the go with the TR Bawtree. I'm going to start off with just 4 trams actually. We'll give you a fifth, so that should do for the time being. Right, okay, so leaving this place, this should actually help go ahead and add more capacity to our trains, or not that, bring more people to the train station to use our trains. That's really what I'm trying to say. As we can see, there's still a lot of people waiting to go to Portishead, even though I've got 2 different routes going that way, so okay, we'll see how things go. A lot of the changes I guess I have integrated are very, very new, so that's something to note. Anyway, coming back over here, we've got new trams on the go, though a lot of them aren't very profitable, and I can see why. I guess there's, very large trams for some areas which I ended up destroying, i.e. there used to be a lot more building out here, but there's not anymore. I guess there's also some duplication too, and even some traffic, possibly caused by this place, which isn't ideal at all, so we're having the trams queue to come into here. It's not too bad actually, but it will be taking up some time, but as we can see, only one person is coming in on that tram, which isn't good. So I'm going to make 1 or 2 changes anyway, and as we can see, this tram's leaving here empty, just because I don't think it's in an ideal road. I think we need to just change it up just that little bit. So what I do want to do is we're going to actually move it roads. We're going to bring it down this outer road here just because I think it would get a bit more use. If we go ahead and look, this is all residential, and I don't mind it being out here actually, but I think we should just go ahead and change it a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is that there. You can probably see what I'm going for here. Upgrade that and upgrade that. So we're just going to go ahead and move it slightly, not by too much, but I just do want to make this little change. I do feel it could make a little bit of a difference going forwards anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and add in a new stop probably here, and then a new stop probably here, which works out fine. So this is just going to segregate the green line and the purple line just that little bit more, because they do get very close here. And I guess you could probably argue that it's not really worth having 2 different tram lines just 1 street apart. I don't think that's really ideal. Hence why we're probably losing a lot of money. Also, the frequency of these trams is a lot higher compared to some of our other trams. They're around about maybe 2 minutes or 100 seconds, so I can definitely see us cutting back on some trams anyway. Right, anyway, let's go ahead and delete some of this. So we need to delete 5 and we need to delete 6. So from Albert Road, at stop number 4, we will now go and call at the Grove and then the Crescent, and then after High Street number 7, we'll call it the Crescent and then the Grove, which is fine. Right, so we can go ahead and very quickly just clean this up. And if we go ahead and do that like so, looks like we've got some train lifetime issues, so let's downgrade all of this. And then I like to also go ahead and delete old bus stops as well if they're no longer in use. Just makes the town just look a little bit tidier. So there we go, that's the change. So that might make a difference, it might not make a difference, but what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and make a change. As we can see here, the tram route is just not doing well at all, this TR1. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and replace the vehicles. We're going to downgrade the vehicles to Mirages, and we're also, I think we're actually fine with that frequency. That frequency is fine. So let's go ahead and do that. We might just, or we could even downgrade it even more and go for something like this. Because the running cost of these is very small. 70k is the Cobras, 46k is the Mirages, and then we've got only 32k being the Type 1s. Let's go for this, let's go for Type 1, something totally different, old school retro I guess you could say. So let's go ahead and do that, so that should have a definite effect on that route. Hampstead 2TR, with regards to your overall capacity, we are getting some alright numbers actually, 16s and 17s in there. What I think I am going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and sell one of the trams, just decrease the frequency a little bit, because I do see you're one of the more profitable ones and you could quite easily become profitable in the future. You do serve quite populous areas, your route, so I think we'll leave that one. With regards to the purple route though, I think there's going to need to be just a bit more drastic action taken on this one. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to sell one of the trams, possibly 2, and we're also going to downgrade the type of tram as well, just so we can go ahead and save even more money. I'll not downgrade it to the type T1, but we'll go for Mirages instead in purple. And that works out fine like so. So automatic replacement and replace now, that will do. With regards to our T4, this is doing it much better I believe. I think it's just too frequent, that's the problem. Let's go ahead and have a look. So 11, 2, 9, 16. Yeah, this one's doing much better. I think we just have one too many trams. So let's go ahead and remove one of the trams. So that should now hopefully have an effect. The frequencies have been decreased, if you will, but increased in terms of number, and that should maybe take an effect of sorts, and then we can maybe start to see results that we see in the town of Hetton, Portishead and Maidstone are all profitable, which is really cool to see. Right, so while we're on the subject, I do want to go ahead and just have a little bit of a shimmy in Bangor, because this tram is not ideal at all. It's losing money, it's very infrequent, it doesn't fit the city, it's not nice at all. I very much thought there would be building eventually would come out here, but it's just not, and this is just not a good tram route at all. It doesn't connect up the town very well, I don't think, and I do want to go ahead and make that change. So let's go ahead and do this then. We've got the train station here. There's no need for the tram to go to the north of the town because there's not that many people there. In saying that, I can actually go ahead and add in a second street connection here. And then let's go ahead and do that, and that works just that little bit better. I like that a lot. And now let's go ahead and sort out the trams, because there's a lot of high density here in the city, which we can definitely maximise. So let's first of all go ahead and upgrade our tram route. The tram route is going to take a slightly different path, if you will, going forwards. It's going to come down here to go this end of the town, and then it's maybe going to turn here. Would that make sense? Or could we go another street down? No, I think that works for now. So let's do that. Let's continue down this old street here. Now, instead at this part of town, instead of calling into there, that's just a waste. So we're going to wrap round, and then we're going to come along to this part of town. So instead of going right round, that's where we lose our efficiency. And then let's go ahead and maybe... It looks like we have some sloping issues here. Have our turning circle here, because I'm happy to keep the old turning circle here. That's not a problem. So let's go ahead and downgrade that there. Let's go ahead and draw you from there to there. And that should resolve our issues going forwards. One thing I do want to do, just for the general car's sake, is make changes to all of this here, because there's no buses running here anymore, so there's no point in having any bus lanes. So that means now right throughout the city it's all double laned, which is good, and we can also go ahead and get rid of that bus stop there. Right, so in terms of the old route and the new route, there is some quite drastic changes which we need to go ahead and take place. So we need to add in a new stop there, and I would maybe like a new stop here, and then let's move that stop up to there. That stop there is fine, that stop there is fine, that stop there is fine. Then we're gonna have the stop, we can still stop there, that's okay. Then let's have this other stop here as our final stop. And I think that should do the trick. All in all, I like that, and that will be the route changed. Right, okay, so where do we go from here? So, I guess we've got quite a bit of work to do, don't we? Let's go back into this route, and I guess we should probably start at 1, shouldn't we? 1 is over here, so after 1 in the future you're going to be going to North Street, and then York Road, and then up to the Crescent. So then everything after that, so 5, 6, and we can get rid of the green at 13, so that cuts out that part of town there, which is good. So we go into bus stop number 4, we can get rid of 12 there too. So we're at the Crescent at 4. We then go up to, we're gonna miss out the Bangor branch at 5 and 10 now. So from 4, is there a problem here? It's looping around a bit inefficiently. Anyway, yeah, there we go, that's it solved. So 5, then 6, 7, 8. After 8, you're going to come down to 9 Park Road now, back to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, North Street being 16, and that is the new TR Bangor, ladies and gentlemen. So quite a bit of change there. I feel it reflects the city in its current day and age. It has changed quite a bit, and I think it was just time for a bit of change. So let's go ahead and tidy up. I think everything should be fine there. We'll keep the old tram tracks from there. They're causing no harm. Are we stopping here anymore? Yeah, we are. That's fine. I guess it's probably just this old tram section out here. I'm actually just going to get rid of this part of the road because there's no need for it. There's been no new building out here, so there's no real point. I do remember building this actually, probably in maybe episode like 11 or something like that. It was quite near to the end of the series. But there we go, so that works out nicely, and then we still got our tram depot down here as well, which is fine. So this is just, I guess, a bit of a line extension. But Bangor just didn't grow out this way, it really didn't, so that will do for the time being. We've also got the Bangor branch, which can now go as well. You have served the town, I guess, for a while, but it's not really worked out, unfortunately, so that's goodbye to you. Right, so the final thing I do want to do is actually just add some more trams onto it. I'm just going to add an extra, probably 2 trams, or maybe 1 tram, just because I think the town could do with it. So let's select line the TR Bangor, and that should decrease the frequency. 72 looks pretty ideal to me. Right, okay, so with all those changes, I think we can actually move away from trams for the time being, because we need to go back to the network of rail. And no, we're not actually, not quite yet. So currently Southgate needs a new tram, as well as Spalding. Currently there's a bus route in between the two, which is affecting the train, but the train is just not really active. I still have overcrowding on this line though, so I think we need to go ahead and add some more trains onto it. The line is very long, as you can see, from Spalding all the way down to Hampstead. And if we go ahead and have a look in our line manager and for the trains which run this route, which is, I do this by colour, I'm really bad, Hampstead, Spalding. We have a lot of trains, but they're still actually not that frequent, amazingly. And most of them are full, so we can actually get even more trains onto this route, which is really exciting. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add in 2 more, I think, a build for the future. And also as well, up and coming, we're going to have some more tram routes affecting this line, so that should make all the difference. Right, so let's put you guys in the Hampstead to Spalding. So that now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe, trains on this route now, so that's quite a lot. Frequency of about every 2 minutes, which is ideal, and there's definitely capacity for this line for that. Just because, for example, Hampstead and Bangor are quite far apart. All the towns are really far apart, actually, which makes a difference. Right, okay, so with that now said, let's go ahead and go back into buses, because we can delete a redundant bus route, which is the Southgate to Spalding, because now we've got a train with actual seats on it. So let's go ahead and delete that, and that's the first large change there. Now the second change we're going to need to do, or the, I guess the, not change, but new addition, is we're going to have to build a tram route in this town as well. It is really the episodes of trams right now, isn't it? I actually really do enjoy building trams. Tram networks are a lot of fun. Right, okay, let's have this come down to here. Do I want it to cross? I can possibly have some trams over this side, actually, because this side is going to grow. Especially with that new street connection now. I think we'll just leave it for the time being, though. So we'll have a turning circle here. Then this comes into the centre of the town. Then what I want to do is I want to have you come up along here. You can come along here. I realise I've deleted quite a lot of buildings, and we're going to continue to do this in the process. Gonna take the big decision to delete all these houses here, which isn't the best, but hey ho. Let's go to there, and then let's go from there. Let's cut back up the hill to there. And now let's go ahead and just have a turning circle up here, I think. And that shall do. And then if we need, we could possibly do with a second tram line. Or maybe we shouldn't have gone up the hill. That's the better thing. I don't think we should have done that. See, I kind of wish there was an undo button in this game, I really do. But hey ho, there's not right now. Let's go ahead and have you come out to here for the time being, and that'll be the other turning circle. So it's very much a left to right. Let's go ahead and downgrade this for no and for no. It does give us the option to build up here actually in the future, but I don't think there is the need for the time being anyway. Because there's going to have to be, the buildings are going to have to regrow back now, which is unfortunate. Right, so let's go ahead, and this tram route's a very basic tram route. So have a stop there, have a stop there, have a stop just outside the station here. Though that's not going to work, is it? Because it's LOL, there's no tram tracks there. Good bit of banter there from me. I'll quite like to play this game, you know. Have another stop here. There's a lot of high density around about the station here. It looks like we're going to need to go ahead and upgrade that part. This is nice actually for the industry, the stop there. Let's have another stop here actually, and our final stop can be up at the top here, which is perfect. Right, so let's go ahead and upgrade you. Let's go ahead and sort this final part of the road out there. Right, so that's the actual full track sorted with stops. So let's go and leave that for the time being. I don't know when I'll ever next build a bus line, you know that. It's going to be a long time, I'll tell you that. Just because they're not really in need at all right now. Anyway, so let's start off this new tram route. So let's go from Queen's Road along here to King's Road to Bishop's Road, maybe by any chance? No, St John's Road, up to George Street, into West Street, down to Stanley Road, Victoria, and then Windsor. And then let's just bring this back around. So this is quite a basic tram route, I guess you could say, 14 stops. This is the TR, and we are in the town of, what, Spalding? No, that's Spalding. So what is this? This is... Southgates. There we go. Everything is slowly coming back to me actually, but I've not really spent too much time up in this town as of recent. I've only done really some modifications to Spalding, not really Southgate itself. Alright, so that is that sorted. So all we need now is a tram depot, and getting trams on the move is what we'll do. In the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, we will go back to cargo, and we'll maybe actually try and do some cargo towards the end of this. So what I'm actually going to do is just put some mirages on this, and we're going to start off with just like 4 mirages. Just because I don't know what the capacity really is going to be here. So this is the town of Southgate, so TR Southgate, off you go. And that should hopefully help go ahead and just bring a few more people into the town here, which should be good. Right, okay, that's Bangor sorted, Southgate sorted, Hampstead, Bawtry, and finally, we just need to sort out Spalding. This is crazy because we have been on, this all started last episode, just me upgrading Hampstead, and it's always just had a continuous knock-on effect, so it's really, that's 2 episodes ago actually. This has been just like one mega project, really just upgrading this part of the world, everything which sort of feeds into Hampstead, but as you can see the neglect is real over the other side of the map. That is something that we'll definitely have to duly sort out. Right, okay, so enough with making funny noises, that's me gone ahead and added in some more street connections. Means that probably more building will happen here, which is good. So with regards to tram line in here, it's going to be quite a basic one I imagine. If we actually go ahead and have a look at this map, east to west, very, very simple. So let's go ahead and have a turning circle here, which is good enough to do. Then let's have you come up here, along here, back down here. Can't have you go along there, so we'll have you come along here, turning circle here, and then that is pretty much good enough for me, to be honest. So we'll have the stop for the train station right beside it, so that can go into here. So that's very, very close to the train station. I guess it is a kind of inefficient walk around, but it's not that long a walk. Then we can have a stop here, and then another stop up there. Coming out of there, a stop there's fine, a stop there's fine, a stop here is fine, a stop there's fine. I guess you could also walk from the train station round to there if you wanted to. I think that stop's just a little bit too close to that junction, so what we're going to do is we're going to delete you and delete you. Then let's go ahead and put the stop just a little bit more central, and then let's have a stop there as well, which will be ideal. We can have a stop there too, why not? We might as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this line 1 and let's use this. So we're going to start at Manchester Road, Grange Road, come along here, School Lane, Springfield, up to Queen Street, along to New Street, into Richmond's, into Kingsway, round this turning circle, and then back we go. Perfect time for an autosave game, thank you very much. So we're going to New Street, into Queen Street, into Springfield Road, into School Lane, and there we go, that's that, ladies and gentlemen. So the TR Spalding has been built. I feel we've been actually building at a really fast pace these past 2 episodes. I guess because it's quite similar over and over again, though, that's probably why. We'll go ahead and we'll jump into here, get a tram depot. Again, this isn't going to have too many, oh, for God's sake. This isn't going to have too many trams on it, probably only 4 mirages or something, just because I'll need to wait until this town grows a bit more, just because I don't really see it starting off on the best side of things. Alright, let's get 4 trams onto here, and let's go for TR Spalding. I got the colours totally wrong there, but hey ho, they will do. Right, so that works out nicely. Hopefully that should have a positive effect on Spalding. I think it's going to take a while to see an effect on Southgate. I do want to check out Hampstead though, because I changed this at the end of the last episode after problems 2 episodes ago. And I just want to see really how things are getting on. So you can see the amount of people that are walking around from the station there. I could easily make a bus route which just goes in between these two. if I wanted to, or I can possibly add in... Nah, there's no nodes I can attach onto there, unfortunately, which is really frustrating, so doesn't really matter. But how are the trams in terms of this town doing? So they are... The TR Hampstead 3 is actually broke profit, which is good to see. It's doing not too bad. The TR Hampstead 2 is very close. The 1 is nowhere near, but I didn't really expect it to be honest with you. Then the Hampstead 4, it's a slight loss, but really not a lot compared to what they were, which is good to see. Right, okay, so with all that said, the final thing I really want to do actually is just double check train capacities here, and also just go ahead and see if there's any other passenger issues before we leave the passenger gate. It looks like here the tram in the town of Maidstone could do with some work. Quite profitable, quite frequent. It's quite a long route, to be fair, actually, as we can see. So it could probably just do with some larger trams and more trams as well, I think. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go for replacements. Currently, you guys must be running... You guys Mirages? Yeah, you guys are Mirages, so we'll upgrade you guys to Cobras. I think for the time... Or we could do Citadis? I've not got any Citadis currently in this game. Now, we'll just go for Cobras for the time being and get you guys on the go. So that should hopefully go ahead and have some effect anyway. And then we can also... Cobras will go faster in general, so Cobras should sort out the trick. That shouldn't be a problem. Right, one thing to note, there's a bus from Coburn to Maidstone, which I feel is kind of redundant. Though I really need to sort this town out at some point as well, because it's a mess, but that will come in time. We've already focused on that a bit too much. Right, so what I do want to focus on though is we're going to just go on to goods for the end of this episode, just because I really do need to deal with the goods. And I guess the overcrowding, I need to ship more items issues. So first of all, the train which carries stuff around here is, it's too short, is the bottom line. So let's speed you up. I could have 2 trains on this route, no problem. However, there's not really much need. It's just because the train, I wasn't at all sure how many carriages it would need, but it's obviously grown quite a bit. So let's go ahead and see there. Right, stop. So, let's go for locomotives. We're going to keep the Class 37 at the front, or Class 47, sorry. EWS Maroon, probably one of my favourite looking trains. So add you in. With regards to wagons, it's probably going to be the same wagons, because I do like the colour of them. But how many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10's not enough, so let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16... 17? Should we go for it? Yeah, let's go for 17. So that's gonna... It's gonna increase the capacity by over 50%, which is good, which is perfect. So let's go automatic replacement, and let's replace now. So that has a current capacity of 180, it's going to have a closer capacity to 312 now, which is good. Or no, I was out by 6 there actually, so my maths let me down. But anyway, that's really good, so that train is near enough full. Hessen goods though, it could have got more on that train, but anyway, that will do for the time being. So that means now that this train can go ahead and carry more stuff, which is great. I might need a second train actually, I'm thinking about that now. So that fits into the station, no problem. I could have gone for another carriage actually, or 2 maybe. But that'll do for the time being anyway. We'll ignore that for now. We might need more trucks here though to start to relieve things, but again, we'll cross that in the episode tomorrow. Right, hopefully that should have some effect. I don't really want to add a second train onto there for the time being if I can avoid it. What we're going to deal with now is the planks, because there's still way too many planks here, and I need to upgrade this station in general. Again. At least all this line's doubled now, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in another one of these trains, because I need to ship more planks, that's just the bottom line. So let's go ahead and just double check the replacement. So I'm going to go for locomotive, I'm just copying the replacement here. So it's the class 37, and they're probably the coolest colour train actually, with regards to its nice orange and yellow. They really complement each other. They're not two colours that I would necessarily put together straight away, but they do look very nice. Right, anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I need to rely on my maths here. So 15 times 13 is going to be 65 plus 130, which is 195. So 195 add 2 more 13s would take me to 221, I believe. And that allows us to go ahead and stick this onto the G-Hetton planks. Is that right? It is. It's 221 and 221. Perfect. Good maths. Right, okay, that's good. So that now means I can go ahead and ship planks at a faster rate, but that is probably going to mean we're going to produce more goods, so I'm going to have to go ahead and put a second train on here, unfortunately. It's just the way things are, I guess. But that's fine. So you've got 17 carriages, just to note that I can actually go ahead and put on 18 carriages in there. We're looking at some diesel locomotives. Another one of these wonderful class 47s, wagons, freight, and then let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Which works out fine, and that's going to go on the G-Hetton goods, which should do good things, but anyway, enough of that. Right, okay, so that'll solve that issue. What I want to do, as I said a few episodes ago, is return goods from here to up in Hampstead, or bring them into this station and then ship them into Hampstead. Now that there's the demand, we might as well, I feel. For that though, I need an extra platform at the station, and that's going to have a knock-on consequence. I'm going to have to move these lines out once again, because I'm a bit of an idiot. Or if I could clear all, I'd happily move this station back, but I also don't want to lose all the wood that I've got built up here, because it is a lot. An awful lot, and I don't want to kind of ruin that yet. At all, in fact, so... Anyway, we'll see how things go there. We'll start to work on some of the other infrastructure, because that pile should start to go down, actually. Right, so turning my attention into here, I just need to have a goods depot, essentially. All the goods are really based at the bottom of the town, though I could quite easily have 2 goods depots, and I think that's what we'll go ahead and do. Have one down here, and then one probably over here, which I think would work out nicely. So let's go into depots, let's go into goods, let's go into, we'll go for our medium city depots, and let's have it on these nice broad lines. So that works out okay there. We'll stick you in here. So that has a really good sphere of influence, and then we'll just have another one probably over here too. And that works out nicely. So we can go ahead and pretty much start some trucking going from this station over to there, and then I guess we'll deal with all this in the next episode, because if I build the 2 trucks, I'll need to build the railway line quickly. And knowing me, that will not happen. Right, anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this episode up here. I do realise that it's been a while since I've integrated feedback. I've been mass recording, and I'm going to have to do this anyway. I'm going to America shortly, so in general, feedback may take up to 5 episodes to be integrated. That's just the unfortunate way how things are going to be going on this channel until I start my new job in September. It's unfortunate, but it is just going to be how it's going to be. Amazingly, we've managed to clear the station out already of goods, which is great. And maybe I did overdo that. However, if there's more wood coming in here, then hopefully we'll get more machinery and tools working at a faster rate. So we'll really have to see how things go. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ending this episode here. So please leave a like rating. It really does help the channel and the video grow. I do want to make this series as accessible to as many people as possible, which would be nice. And I guess that's all, so thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.